What's going on, guys? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys. But first things first, as always, hope you guys are having an amazing day. So in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the brand new 23.0 update that just came out this morning. So for this update, we will be getting a brand new expert map. On top of that, we will get a couple of new additions to the game in the trophy store. So one of the things that I'm really excited about right now is going to be this Lantern BFB skin, because I think it's going to look absolutely amazing. On top of that, we get a couple more FXs, we get a couple more hats, and we also get this little fun skin for your spike factory. Opposed to dropping spikes, it's going to drop pineapples instead, which I think is a pretty fun idea. So now that we went ahead and covered that, of course, the brand new map is going to be a expert map. I went ahead and took a first look into the map itself, and guys, this is going to be a beast of a map to be on expert mode. So definitely look forward to, within the next couple of days or even weeks, that I'm going to be doing a chimps guide for this map. But guys, I'm not sure exactly how long it's going to take me to beat it at this current point in time. Now that we went ahead and covered all of the big stuff, let's go ahead and dive into the balance changes. So all the nerfs and all of the buffs to all the towers in Bloons Tower Defense 6. Alright guys, here we are on the official Ninja Kiwi Reddit page. So of course, here's everything that we already covered, but there are a couple of massive changes to Bloons Tower Defense 6 that I'm super excited about. So the first thing is going to be the apocalypse screen will now display a victory at round 60, opposed to the previous way where you would just keep playing until you eventually lost. Now the apocalypse mode will actually give you a victory sign when you actually win the actual game mode. The next big thing, and the thing that I am most excited about this update, is they increase the size of the center lane on the map Bazaar. So now that the middle lane of Bazaar is bigger, I don't think it's going to be as hard to beat as it was in the past, which, opposed to being one of the hardest maps, I think it's going to be transferred back to intermediate map where it should be. Alright, now the next thing that we're going to go ahead and get into, all of this is really cool information, but the thing that I'm most concerned about is, of course, going to be the balance changes, because of course when it comes to the balance changes, it's going to change some of my old guides, because if they nerf the Avatar of Wrath and I have to go through and do all of my guides over again, that would kind of be unfortunate. Luckily, that's not the case for today, because I didn't notice anything too massive when I was looking through the balance changes before I made this video. So the first thing is going to be to the Jug. The damage is now going to be increased from 1 to 2, so that means that the 400 Juggernaut is going to do a lot more damage. The only issue is that its Pierce is going to be reduced from 100 to 50, so I think it may even itself out. That's something that I need to take a little bit of a further dive into. The Sharpshooter attack is going to attack faster. The Sharpshooter's damage is going to be reduced, though. But I don't think it's going to be too big of a balance change with either one of those hours. I think they should be about the same. Another thing that I'm super excited about right now is going to be the Glaive Lord price reduction from 40,000 to 35. That is a big play, because now we can actually use the Glaive Lord more in a lot of chimps guides and stuff like that, because he's not as expensive as he used to be. The bomb shooter looks like it got a little bit of a nerf. I don't think it's too big of a nerf, because it's just the damage to the ceramic balloons. But of course, if you're going for the Striker Jones and you're going for the Moab Mauler strat, you just spam down a bunch of Moab Maulers. So I don't think that's going to cause us too big of alarm whenever it comes to using the Moab Maulers. Next thing that we're going to look at is going to be the tax zone buff / nerf. So the tax zone had a damage increase from 1 to 2. On top of that, it had a range reduction from 46 to 30. So that means we're no longer going to have that massive area of effect with the tax zone. So I'm super excited to see if the tax zone is going to be better or if it's going to be worse. On top of that, it had its Pierce reduced by over half. So that is a massive nerf, guys. So I don't know if the tax zone is going to be as effective as it used to be. Alright, next thing that we're going to look at is we're going to look at the Ice Monkey. Of course, it had a little bit of a price reduction. On top of that, this is going to be a big one. The Snowstorm ability, it got cut in half. That is a massive play. So now you have another option for stall that you really that you can rely on a little bit more, because the snowstorm is going to be a little bit of a cheaper upgrade to buy, so you don't need to worry about investing a lot of money into certain upgrade paths, because you guys are going to have a little bit of a cheaper upgrade with the center upgrade path Ice Monkey. The Glue Gunner got a massive nerf / buff. So the Bloon Dissolver had a little bit of a price reduction, and it also had a increase in Pierce. So now the Bloon Liquefier is going to do even more damage. The next thing that we're going to look at is that the 003 Moab Glue had a reduction to the amount of slowness that it applies to Moab Bloons. Means now there's going to be a reason to go for the 004 opposed to just going with the 003. Because before, you never really had to worry about going for the 004 because the 003 slowed the Moab Bloons down just as much as the 004. So we had a little bit of a price increase on the tier 5 Cripple Moab. We had a little bit of a Pierce increase with the center tier. The Plutonium Reactor had a big nerf. It had a reduction to its Pierce. So I'm not exactly sure if the Plutonium Reactor is going to be as good as it once was, but I'm super excited to test that out. I know I really don't use it a lot anymore in any of my guides, so it's not going to affect any of my guides too much. The Monkey Ace had a little bit of an update. So what this means is that the Monkey Ace now has a bigger projectile size, so it's going to be able to hit more balloons. So that's really, really cool to see. On top of that, it had an attack cooldown, so it's going to attack a little bit faster. The Flying Fortress did get a price reduction, so nice to see another price reduction coming for the Flying Fortress, but unfortunately I don't think it's still going to be a viable option in Chimps mode just yet. Alright, so we had a little bit of a buff to the bottom up upgrade path heli pilot, so that's super cool. So now the reinforcements on the 004 heli will now stay on there for 3 seconds longer. So we had a little bit of a couple of balance changes with the Wizard Monkeys, which is what I expected. Now, I did not expect the center upgrade path to get buffed or nerfed, but it looks like the middle upgrade path Wizard actually had a massive buff, because now it does more damage. The amount of damage that the center upgrade path does now is actually looking to be kind of crazy. But I'm not exactly sure what this last patch note here for the Prince of Darkness actually does. So I'm going to have to look a little bit more into this, but I don't think it's going to affect any of our Prince of Darkness guides. The bottom upgrade path Alchemist had a little bit of a buff. The top upgrade path Druid had a little bit of a buff. Again, nothing too insane to note, because of course the Superstorm is still super expensive. We do have a little bit of a price increase on the Monkey Bank, which I kind of expected to happen. But on top of that, the Spike Factory also had a little bit of a balance change as well. The Spike Factory had a massive price increase from 800 to 1,000, and then it had a couple of price nerfs with the center upgrade path as well. So I'm a little bit confused why they increased the price, because the Spike Factory isn't used a lot, but it's a very, very good tower to use, especially in the early game. So I'm not a fan of this nerf right here, but I'm kind of intrigued to see what's going to come of this nerf. Alright, so Call to Arms is going to last a little bit longer. The Engineer had another buff, as you guys can see. So the Deconstruction now gives all sentry turrets more damage. On top of that, the 401 Engineer also does more damage as well. So I'm super excited to see if the top upgrade path Engineer is finally on par with the other towers of the tier 4 variety. Dartling Gunner had a massive nerf again. The Ray of Doom had a big price reduction, all the way from 110,000 to 95,000. So now the 2-tower chimps using the Ray of Doom is definitely going to be a lot easier to pull off. On top of that, the Rocket Storm, I think, had a spread reduction. So now it's not going to be affecting the entire screen. So that might be a little bit of a problem, but at the same time, it may actually work out better because now more damage is being focused in one spot. The Mad had a $5,000 price reduction, and the Buckshot had a price reduction as well. On top of that, the Buckshot now adds a little bit of knockback to non-Moab class balloons. So this is super interesting to see, because now this means that we may actually be able to start with the bottom upgrade path Dartling Gunner, opposed to trying to go for one of the other upgrade paths. Alright guys, it looks like GWendolyn finally got her buff. Looks like the Heated Up, her level 4 ability that gives lead popping power to all towers within range, now increases 30% more often, so that's really cool to see. On top of that, it looks like Adora got another buff from the last patch, so now the Ball of Light actually does more damage at level 10 and level 15, which is really cool to see, because now people might stop ragging on Adora just because she's not, or they think she's not that good to use. And finally, we have Etienne, the final patch note for the 23.0 update, and the level 10 UCAV now has a slightly longer duration opposed to 20 seconds. Now it has 18. On top of that, the level 15 UCAV duration is now decreased from 25 seconds to 20. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for all the patch notes for this update. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed, please feel free to subscribe as well. I do upload quite a bit of Bloons Tower Defense 6 content. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, but you already know what time it is. I hope you guys have the most amazing day of your lives, and I will see you guys in the next one.